Here at Lake Grove Presbyterian Church, we recognize the complexity of this season and are inviting all of us to reflect on our experience of this complicated and uncertain time. Good morning. It's Pastor Susan here and Lillian. I'm so glad to be with you again, Lillian, as we launch into our 6th episode of Caring Conversations. Really just an invitation for people to come along with us in reflecting on what this season has brought up for so many and what we're experiencing. So Lillian, you brought up a wonderful topic for us to talk about today, which is stress, which no doubt we are all feeling. Would you share more?
Sure. This is actually more of a reflection on a presentation that I heard from Reverend Dr. Lori Krause. She's the director of Presbyterian Disaster Assistance. And this past weekend, we had our quarterly Presbyterian meeting. And so she shared some insights, and just based on her expertise and her career, of coming alongside congregations and communities during, she specifically was telling us about unnatural disasters. So, and the stresses that it creates, or what are the reactions. And so one thing that she said, which I thought was so spot on for us, was that the more we stress, the more stressed we get, the more reactive we become. And then she said, we get hijacked by this stress, and that just continues to heighten our reactivity. And goodness, I feel like that's exactly what we're seeing, and we are experiencing. I don't know about you, Susan, but I know that, yes, I'm stressed. And definitely it goes from irritability to reactivity so quickly, way faster than it would, any other time or prior to the pandemic.
That is so true. I know I can sometimes feel astonished at that. Did that just come out of my mouth? What did I do? Realizing I am close to instant reactions.
Yeah. And so she was saying that we need to recognize that I am a choosing person, not a reactive person. So that was really helpful, just as a reminder that yes, we are in a stressful time, and yes, we will be reactive, but we don't have to surrender to being reactive. We can choose. So I am a choosing person, not a reactive person. And having that mindset, those reminders can help us learn what triggers my stress. Is it a particular person? Is it like a family member? And you're maybe I should right now during the season be careful and not interact with that person when I'm tired, kind of at the end of the day, because that will just heighten my reactivity.
Right. Because we're all feeling that way. So it's reactivity, people in full reactivity with other people who are. So I think that is such a powerful word about we are choosing people, reminding us again, control what we can, and actually realizing you can control it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, taking ownership of that, rather than my environment or my surroundings or the people I'm around, they're causing me to be stressed. Well, I think that the Lord has given us the ability to choose, to make choices, and that is a true gift from God.
Yes, a true gift. And my goodness, I think that's something we could just mull over and have in our hearts every day, that we actually have more control over what we do. That's what we have control over.
Right.
And instead of feeling like, but I'm in this terrible situation, they're making me. And the Lord is helping us choose. The Lord is helping make us walk in ways of peace, kindness, non-reactivity.
Yes, right, exactly. Um,
Mhm.
oh, and peace, definitely peace. Um, so there's a helpful exercise that I wanted to share with us. Again, this is from Reverend Dr. Lori Krause from Presbyterian Disaster Assistance. But she led us in this exercise where you have your two index fingers and you put them in front of you and you focus your eyes on your fingers. Um, and then what you do is then you start to move your fingers away, but don't stop looking straight ahead. So what you want to do is to use your peripheral vision to look at your fingers. Uh,
Wow.
and then you bring them as far apart as you can. So here on this Zoom call, it doesn't really work very well.
Mhm.
You as far as you can, and you use your peripheral vision to see your fingers.
Mm.
The idea behind that is just letting your vision relax. And she said, just in that simple exercise, you're able to calm your breathing and just be centered.
Mm.
And so I encourage everyone who is, if you're feeling stressed or reactive, this is a great one to do. It doesn't take very long. You could just sit in a chair comfortably and try that out and go slow. I think as I was explaining it, I went a little bit fast, but just take your time, focus on your fingers, and then without moving your head, follow where your fingers are with your peripheral vision.
Mm. That is so interesting and so helpful. I look forward to trying it out. Lillian, are there any scriptures that you think are particularly helpful as well?
Yeah, well, as we were talking about stress, Psalm 23 just keeps coming up. It does feel like we are in the shadow of the valley of death sometimes, most of the time
Mhm.
now.
Mhm.
But to rely on the promise that the Lord can lead us into green pastures and that to be able to rest in that He is our shepherd. He is the one who is leading us. Um, and His desire for us is not for us to stay in the valley, but
Mhm.
to bring us to green pastures.
That's beautiful. That's something I'm just imagining sitting down as you invited us to do in a chair and letting that psalm also be in my mind while doing the peripheral vision fingers exercise. But I don't want to miss out. Is there another reflective question or something else that you would invite us in handling stress, even throughout each day?
Yeah. The question is, where do you hold stress in your body? Um,
Mm.
and it's so interesting to me that we go throughout the day. We get up and we go do all of our activities, but when we're asked to just stop moving for a minute is a long time, but to stop moving for a minute and just feel your body.
Mhm.
How are you feeling? Is there anywhere in your body where it feels tense, uncomfortable? Is there anything that feels um, maybe out of place? And I know for myself, I hold a lot of my stress right here, right at the base of my neck, at the top of my shoulders. So much so that I mean, sometimes it could be just like rock hard.
Mhm. Mhm.
Recognizing, oh yeah, this is where I feel, where I hold my stress. Now I can do something about it. Now I can give myself a massage or get one of those. Um, what are those called? Those heat.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Put it around.
Mhm.
Then I can do something. I can choose to address my stress and the stress that I hold in my body, rather than just be tense all the time. And
Mhm.
that doesn't feel good.
Right. No, and golly, I just want to highlight you said something so key for us in there, especially in stress, is to stop. Because as we and heighten our awareness of how our body is, just being aware of how our body is feeling, that is so important. Because certainly I know for myself, when I'm stressed, I keep moving. Oh, I need to figure out this, or thinking or something. So being in a chair, stopped, noticing what's happening in my body, maybe even a heat wrap. Wow, focusing on, the exercise you gave us, being able to do this with Psalm 23 in there. That sounds like a wonderful, very brief, but helpful exercise. Thank you. I'm so glad to have this conversation and be able to share it with those who may be listening. As Lillian and I pray deep peace for you as we navigate this stressful season. The Lord is with us, friends. Take care.